This is my review of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Okay, so OVA number 1 is now on Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll decided to do them out of order. I don't know. I don't really have an explanation for that. Yeah, OVA number 1 is on Crunchyroll now, so check it out at on Crunchyroll. I think it's also on Funimation. I don't know, but yeah, this episode was just another one of those fillery episodes that the OVAs are typically known for being. Although it is a full-length episode, so that's why I'm reviewing it. So this episode establishes one key, possibly canon thing about Rimuru. He can't sleep. He can't sleep. He's physically incapable of being able to fall asleep. He's incapable of sleeping, like at all. So in this episode, he goes to talk to Vesta, who gives him a special experimental sleeping pill he invented that is supposed to help. It's supposed to make you fall asleep. So Rimuru decides, what the hell, he'll try one. So he takes a couple of them and is immediately put to sleep and goes into has a dream for the first time in a long while. Most of this episode takes place in a dream sequence. So in the dream, Rimuru is playing dress up with Shuna and Shion because they wanted him to. I don't know why he didn't say no, but he points out they enjoy it, so he does it for them. And while he's doing that, he realizes that his country doesn't really have a national pastime, so he decides to make one. And so he invites the entire village to the town square so he can tell them what his plan is. He plans to introduce sumo wrestling as their primary sport. And he begins to explain the rules, but he does have to add a couple restrictions because it's established, again, ambiguously canon or not, that Milim is able to use her hair as an extra appendage, and that Benimaru is able to kick a man's head clean off. So he puts those restrictions in place. You're not allowed to do either of those. You're not allowed to push people out with your hair or any of that. But then with that underway, he decides to set up the wrestling rings, and sure enough, everybody gets changed into their gear, and then the rules are revealed. So the rules are revealed, and then the prizes are revealed, and they're weird-ish. It's a dream, it makes sense, but for the girls, it's a day with Rimuru, which makes sense. But for the guys, it's an opportunity to use Shuna's lap as a pillow. I'm not making that up. Apparently they all voted and they agreed that that was the best prize. And unsurprisingly, Benimaru wins the guy side of things shortly thereafter to preserve his sister's honor. So I'm not going to go into what happened with the guy side because it's not even important to the plot of the episode. Because all you need to know is Benimaru wins. That's all you need to know. He beats her. They don't even show it in the episode. It's just Benimaru beats every single one of his opponents just to protect his sister, which is wholesome but also funny. But the main highlight is the girl side of things. So the first match is against Soka and Shion, and Sui is asked to referee the girl side of things because Rimuru didn't think that far ahead. But anyway, he reviews the match, and what happens is, and I'm not making this up, what happens is Soka accidentally gets the upper part of her wrestling uniform caught on Shion's horn, because Shion can't retract her horn back into her head like Soka can. So what happened was, this is Gabiru's sister, by the way. I think I got her name wrong like several times, but she accidentally rips the upper half of Soka's uniform, which combined with her crush on Soe causes her to run out of the arena embarrassed, and Shion wins by default because it was an accident. So, yeah, that's all you need to know. And then next we have Milim and Shuna, but before their match can get underway, Trini actually shows up in a sumo wrestling uniform of her own, which is made out of leaves. So, yeah, that's a thing that needed to happen, apparently. But, yeah, it's Shuna versus Milim, and there are a couple of restrictions on Milim because she is a demon lord, but her main restrictions are that she can't use her hands or feet, but then Rimuru forgets that she can headbutt, and she does exactly that. Shuna dodges with help from her brother, who warns her, and Milim almost flies out of the ring, but as we've been established earlier, Milim can use her hair to grab the belt of Shuna's uniform and keep herself above the ground, using only the muscles in her scalp, I should mind you. Only the muscles in her scalp are doing this. Yeah, this episode is weird. But then again, this whole thing is a dream sequence, so it makes sense. But yeah, Shuna's trying desperately to keep her belt thing on. I don't know what the terminology is for the sumo wrestling uniforms, but she's trying to keep the belt, her waistband thing on, and Milim is trying to keep herself from falling out of the ring. But the confined force actually breaks the arena, and both Shuna and Milim fall out of the arena and land on the ground. And Shuna wins because of an indecency clause where her thing fell off, so yeah, Shuna won. And then finally, it's Shuna and Shion, but they can't use the guys' arena because they're doing a kids tournament on the other side, and they can't use the girls' arena because it's been destroyed. So Rimuru does a workaround and does butt wrestling. I'm not making this up. He decides butt sumo would be the way forward, and while it seems harmless enough and is kind of fan servicey-ish, he quickly realizes that they're actually fighting as if they were fighting an actual battle, and what happened? I'm sorry, this episode's just really stupid. But what happened was Shuna and Shion collided their butts so hard they broke the arena again, and it kind of ended in a tie. And that's mainly it. So after that, the Kingdom adopts butt wrestling as their new pastime, and Rimuru is just kind of a little disappointed that was the outcome, but at the same time, he won't question it. But then Shuna and Shion break the entire city, apparently having another match to decide who the winner was, but they couldn't determine who the winner was, so they decided they would share the prize, and then they proceed to rip Rimuru in half, which wakes Rimuru up. And Rimuru quickly realizes that the medicine is too powerful and has Vesta lock it away forever. So yeah, that's how the episode ends. It ends with Rimuru realizing that such a drug should not exist, and that it should be locked away forever where nobody can find it. That's how the episode ends. It's just, I mean, this entire episode was basically just an extended dream sequence, and it's really, really dumb, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. And this episode also does add an ambiguously canon fact about Rimuru that he may or may not be able to sleep. Again, this is an OVA, so it's not entirely clear if these are canon or not. I would assume they are, but I'm not entirely sure. I think OVAs are usually anime-only productions, so they're canon. It's kind of ambiguous as if they're canon or not, unless the creator of the manga comes out and says yay. But yeah, I think it might be. I think at least that fact is, because none of this actually happened except for the fact that Rimuru couldn't sleep. So I think the only thing to take away from this is that Rimuru couldn't sleep, and he should not take sleeping drugs to try and help him sleep. That's the main takeaway from this episode. Alright, but yeah. That is my review of OVA number 1 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. What did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below to keep up to date with what's going on with the channel, because I post updates over there as well as retweet stuff that I like, so be sure to check those out. And also, be sure to check out my Patreon if you want to help support the show. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that are basically my way of saying thanks, so be sure to check those out in the description below as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!